Hello, come back again with me. This time we are on the activity 4, moving to the activity 4. That is the 21st century pedagogy. As we have already discussed and presented earlier, three types of pedagogy. Pedagogy for young learners, the pedagogy for English for general purposes, and the pedagogy of English for specific purposes. Now, because we are living in the 21st century, it is essential for the student to understand what is the 21st century pedagogy looks like. And because this type of pedagogy will prepare you and also prepare your student. If you are becoming a teacher later, you also need to equip your student and prepare your student to welcome the 21st century pedagogy. Now, why this pedagogy is essential or urgent? Let me show you the next slide here. I took the data, or I displayed the data from the World Economic Forums as it was written in the book, or in the World Economic Forum's book. The rate of automation is very obvious. What is the automation means that some of the machine and robot will replace the human power and the manpower. As we can see here, in the 2018, about 70% of the workplaces are still handled by men or human power, while the machine used in the industry and other sector is only 29%. The next year, where the 2022, the human power is getting lesser. Only 58% human power will be used in the industry, while machine replace the human power about 42%. And it is also speculated and predicted in the next 4 years, which is no, in the next 25 years from 2022, uh, where 2025 the use of human powers or manpowers is much lesser, where 48% of the industry will be handled by men, and while the machine will replace the man or human power about 52%. So machine, robot, and artificial intelligence will be more obvious in the 21st century. Now, this is very important for everyone, especially with this type of data. You need to anticipate what kind of learning that you need to do, because some of the skill that have we accustomed to use or to implement before is declining, and also some other skill, a new skill in the 21st century is growing. So due to that, many jobs are becoming handled by the machine. Let me give you the illustration here. Some skill declining, for example, like the security. As we all know that the security system has been replaced by CCTV and other monitoring tools in a particular, or in industry, some industry monitoring tool such as CCTV were utilized by people. And then the second job which are going to be vanished, postman. not going to be vanished, but nowadays you witness yourself that postman is getting few nowadays, and the postman were replaced by many other application. For example, in the past, you are waiting for the letter, or you are sending the letter to someone else living far away from you, but now only in a very short time, a few seconds, you can always able to communicate with people far away from you using an email or WhatsApp and the other application. For example, like other things that I can mention here is line, and as well as their, what is it, Facebook. So you can always chit chat with your friend far away from you, even miles and miles away from you. Only a few seconds you can send a message. So the role of postman has already been replaced by many application on the computer. And then maid means a people who usually help doing works in your house, for example, like sweeping and cleaning the house, now replaced by several tools, for example, like washing machine, and then replaced by the vacuum cleaner, some machine, for example, as I mentioned before, like a vacuum cleaner, washing machine, and other type of machine. So if you are capable to buy those kind of machine, you can always do your household job by yourself, because it's really easy and you do not need to pay somebody else working or cleaning your house. Probably in the next future, teachers can be also replaced by other application. For example, if I am a teacher and I am teaching writing, sometimes when I'm dealing with 50 students in my class, I will be so exhausted correcting everything in their paper on their writing with the 50 student in my class. Now it's easy because you can always put the paper from the student submitted to you using the Grammarly check. Also, you can also check whether their vocabulary are appropriate or not by looking up thesaurus. All those applications like thesaurus, Grammarly, check, and also the quillboard available nowadays, uh, aiming just particularly aiming to replace the student or the teacher, sorry, not the student, but the teacher's job. So I think teachers, as we know that teacher also have limited capacity if dealing with a lot of students, especially if the teacher need to correct individual student and with a lot of assignment. If the paper is, if only one page is paper, it doesn't matter, but if the teacher also assign about 12 or probably like 15 pages paper, it can be daunting task and exhausted for the teacher, especially when the human like me have limited capacity. So yes, probably also the teacher will be replaced by other application which help them to more effectively doing the teacher's jobs. Right, and then the other things, the work or the job which will be declining is delivery services. You know that in with the delivery service, sometimes when you need to deliver goods or the things to the remote area, it cannot be achieved, or it cannot be visited by us, because we need a lot of, like, a transportation mode. It is not only by flight, but sometimes you need to cross the river, and then you need to cross a very deep rainforest, anything like that. So drone, if you know drone now replacing the delivery service, usually using the human or manpower. Drone can also trespass any type of geographical areas, like forests, and then sometimes also the ocean, sometimes also the area where the war happens, in the country where the war is happens. Yeah, so drone can be used as the alternative to replace human. All right, now this is the skill declining in the 21st century, but at the same time there are also some skill growing for the 21st century. For example, like programmers, creators. Programmers, it can be language programmers, cultural programmers, atau baby or toddlers language tool, and also creator. Programmer and creators is the two word that I will use overlaps, because these almost have the same meaning. All right. So the 21st century means that students are directed to be able to do the programming skill and creative skill. What are they? All right. Uh, this is very important. Up to now, if we compare with other Western country, for example, German especially have already been very, very advanced in the technology. So the 21st century, what is it? 21st century ideas about the artificial intelligence, augment, augmented reality, and then big data is firstly come from German. While Indonesia, we know that we are classified into developing country. Even the education system up to now, especially with the English the English learning is not yet advanced. So it is probably, in my speculation and in my prediction, that even if you have already studied English very hard and you are being a fluent learners of English, probably those kind of language programmer and application have already been created by people from native countries, for example, like Canada, and then Australia and United States. So what we can do at that moment as an Indonesian or non-native English learners, what we can do? There always a silver lining in the cloud in the raining. Saya selalu mengatakan itu. Masih banyak hal. There are a lot of things that we haven't done regarding to our own country. Ada banyak hal yang belum dieksplor, belum dikembangkan, termasuk yang ada di negara kita, yang kita mungkin bisa memprogramnya. If we have to programs like for example Grammarly, or for example like keyboard, that will be probably a little bit impossible, because this is not our native language. But however, you can also become a cultural programmers where people overseas can always look for or search a particular culture from Indonesia, because Indonesia is diverse. The culture, for example, the food culture of Indonesia are a lot. So in order that it will be easy for the overseas student finding out the information about food culture, you are able to direct your program. Anda bisa membuat program, create a program for or only about food. Kemudian yang lainnya, create a program where the overseas people can easily access about the ethnic dance of Indonesia or anything like that. Or probably the language programmer, not dealing with the English language, but you can deal with the bahasa Indonesia or ethnic language, for example Javanese, Sundanese, anything like that. Jadi masih banyak yang kita kerjakan. So therefore the 21st century's pedagogy is very important for you to learn. What are there? Apa saja yang ada di 21st century pedagogy? Yes, this is. So, the first is there are 4C, 4C yang harus kita ketahui in the 21st century pedagogy, 4C. So, the first is creativity. If you want to become a creator, you have to be creative. So, the creativity is very important. Like you can create a particular or application or program that probably provide information about food in Indonesia. So you have to be creative in this case. Another C in the 21st century is critical thinking. So in critical thinking, you need to draw a reasonable conclusion from a set of information. As we know, in the 21st century, the information from the internet and other sources on the website sometimes like contradicting each other. Which one is true, which one is not true or untrue, is we sometimes difficult to differentiate that. So we need this skill. Which one is hoax information, which one is not hoax information, which one is good information or true information. Sometimes we need the skill of critical thinking. So with the critical thinking skill, you can filter which one is bad for you and which one is good for you to utilize that kind of information. And then the other C here is collaboration. Of course, when you are doing a programmer or a creator of a particular application, you cannot do it by yourself because you study at the English department. You focusing on your grammar and then your listening skill, your writing skill, your vocabulary skill, and other skill. In order to be able to create a particular application or a particular program, you need to collaborate. Your skill of language should be collaborated with people who has skill of technology. So collaboration is very important as well in the 21st century. And then the other things that also very crucial in the 21st century is the skill of communication, because in the 21st century probably some of you are not working in this country only. Some of you are working overseas. When you are dealing with overseas people, they have different culture from you. So the way you communicate with people who has different culture from you can be slightly different from the way you communicate with the people in your country or something like that. So you need to understand their culture. When you understand their culture, you can communicate appropriately. So this 21st century pedagogy is very important, and hopefully this university is not only working on itself but need to collaborate also with the university overseas, so that the skill like I have already mentioned earlier, like creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and communication can be taught to you, can be delivered to you as well in welcoming the 21st century pedagogy. This is just short information about activity 4. Um, I would like to stop for now. If you still have question, you can always ask in the meeting. So understand first what I'm saying here on this video, and then after that, some of the information probably is not comprehension, and you need some elaboration as well because you still have no idea about this. You can ask me. Thank you, and always keep up your good work. Bye.